Welcome to the Farrell Sports Business podcast, where I talk to leaders of the sports industry and find out some of their fascinating career journeys and new business ventures. I'm the host, Matt Farrell. On this week's Farrell Sports Business podcast, we are going to talk cricket. It is the number 2 sport in terms of participation in the world. The U.S. successfully hosted the recent International Cricket Council's T20 World Cup. Cricket will be on the program for the Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 2028. It is a massive global sport that is finding its legs here in the United States. Now, full disclosure, my guest is a new client and partner of Farrell Sports that we're going to be working on cricket in the United States. But this gentleman stands on his own without a doubt. 2019 World Cup champion from England and has started the Liam Plunkett Cricket Academy, plays professional cricket, plays Major League Cricket here in the United States and some minor league cricket in Philadelphia area. This is a gentleman who's starting a franchise to grow cricket in the United States under his own name, the Liam Plunkett Cricket Academy. My guest this week, Liam Plunkett. Liam, welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you joining.
No, excited to talk all things cricket and sport, I'm hoping.
Just what can we do together to make a movement here in the United States to introduce the number 2 sport in the world more in the United States? I think is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. It seems to be going very quickly. This year, especially with the Cricket World Cup that was played in New York and some games in Florida, I think we've seen an appetite for cricket. We've seen people come out in the masses, and it wasn't just for the India-Pakistan game. It was the Bangladesh, the South Africa game in New York. And yeah, it's very exciting, and a lot of people are interested. I think cricket is coming, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
Well, in the intro of the pod, I gave a little bit about your background and being a World Cup champion. What's more of a picture into what your life is these days? I know you just got back from a big trip to India as an ambassador from the sport. What's Liam Plunkett Enterprises today?
Yes, I'm still affiliated with Major League Cricket. That role sees me playing for San Francisco Unicorns in the Major League. Alongside that is I'm helping grow sport as a whole across America. I work in an academy, Major League Cricket Academy, not far away from Philadelphia, help structure and coach there. I play minor league cricket for the Philadelphians, and I've just set up Liam Plunkett Cricket. I'm very passionate about coaching coaches. I want to get a good infrastructure here. A lot of good coaches in America, but I feel like the sport is growing very quickly, and I want to help build these coaches and do it properly, get them certified, because I feel like there is an amazing coaches, but there's also a lot of coaches out here who are just trying to make a quick buck. And are the kids learning? Are they actually coming away from something and learning a skill, or they're just going through the motions? So I'm very passionate now about building Liam Plunkett Cricket LPC, being a part of different facilities, help structure, help coach the coaches, and also building an education pack to roll out in elementary school. And it's just going to be the basics of cricket. I want all kids and families to get what is cricket. I want to be able to have access to that and enjoy the sport as much as I do.
What are the things that maybe excite you the most about cricket in the U.S.? And are there any things on the other side that are maybe just a little bit daunting to you?
I mean, I'm very excited. I think a lot of people, the Olympics in 2028, that's huge for cricket in America. Major League Cricket, which has been great the last 2 years. We've had the best players in the world playing for franchises across America. It excites me how quickly it's growing in the men's game, but also the women's game, the girls. That's very exciting to me. Not too much dawned, but I think as I touched on in the last kind of question, is a lot of people are starting up businesses and cricket, and I just want them to do it properly. I don't want people to be sort of brought into a cricket environment and it's not run properly, and then they get a bad taste in the mouth and they don't want to be involved again. But I feel if all the right people who are and get involved, who are trying to grow cricket, obviously go out to the masses and show what cricket is as a whole in terms of the fun and exciting and inclusive, and people from all over the world play it. It's such an amazing sport. It obviously helped me as a youngster. Very lucky and fortunate to play professional cricket. But there's so many things that are happening in cricket in America. Major League USA Cricket have been amazing. They got two big wins in the World Cup, as I said, and the Olympics. And I think everything, if it doesn't work in this 4-year period, I think it would struggle to work because everything's here for it now.
Yeah, you've just really, as you said, coming off that T20 World Cup and the Olympics on the horizon. So when you see, I'll call it local or maybe even grassroots cricket growing in the United States, how are you seeing it happen? Is it adult programs, youth programs, big cities, small cities? What success are you seeing for cricket in the U.S.?
I think I was very surprised. So I've been coming back and forth to America for 18 years now. My wife, who I met in London, she's from Westchester, Pennsylvania. So I would come in between my seasons. So I'd come here for a month at the end of the season, potentially October, then back in Christmas for 2 weeks. So I think for the first 10 years, I didn't really know that cricket existed here. It's only towards probably 12, 13 years in, I found out there's a cricket centre maybe 20 miles away from me. Then I found out there's probably 50 games of cricket within 20 miles of me every weekend. There's Major League Cricket for the kids. They play championships. They travel across the country. There's so much cricket, and it's, I think if you look for it, you can find it. But if you got blinkers on, you don't see it. There's these little pockets, these little grounds that are hid away. And it's the talent is definitely getting better and better. I think over the last 3-4 years, as major leagues come in, as more coaches have come in, people are growing and it's growing quickly. We've seen people who have been brought up in America now who are actually performing on the major league stage, 18-year-old guys who are playing against the best in the world in major league and getting MVP of the game. And that's something where some guy has just practiced at home or in a small indoor school and he's worked that hard for cricket that he can perform against the best. And that's such a surreal story to be able to do that. But it is growing. It's growing very quickly. Hopefully we can, the USA Cricket, and we can figure out, hopefully that gets better and better, more professional, gives a pipeline for players. I feel that's a little bit stunted at the minute, where if you're really excellent at Major League Juniors, it's how can you access minor league and then minor league, major league to USA. I feel like there's some fractured relationships on the way there. So it kind of gets stopped. So I'm hoping as we keep developing and keep building, these relationships can get mended. And then we have a clear pathway for people to play for the local team all the way to play for USA Cricket.
My company, Farrell Sports, is really just in the very beginning stages of working with you and Liam Plunkett Cricket. I would call it, for lack of a better term, a bit of a franchise type package or model. Can you talk about what Liam Plunkett Cricket is?
Yeah, so we've got, I think, 3 or 4 facilities now. It's guys who have passion, who want to have a cricket facility. They want to have academy, but don't know how to run it. They're not an expert in coaching. They don't know how the cricket kind of environment works. So they'll contract us. We would coach their coaches. We can coach 5 coaches for them. We can give them a cricket structure, cricket blueprint of how to run the sessions. We can make them run like a proper cricket business with what I've learned and what other coaches have learned from professional environments from overseas in England. I've got a head coach here from South Africa who played at the highest level. So we want to come in as a professional organization and put these coaches through the ringer, make sure they get certified, they get qualified to be able to coach the kids from such a young age. And I think that's been a struggle so far, is to be able to get in USA is good coaching. So that's obviously a massive passion for me, is coaching the coaches, making the facility well-oiled machine, kind of a cheesy thing to say, but that's what I want. I want to turn up, and I want cricket to be similar to when you go to the baseball academies that are really well done here. You're going to turn up, all the kids look immaculate, they're doing the best skills, the best drills, and there's a real big community. And hopefully the LPC can do that. We can go into these facilities and make it a community where kids want to turn up, they're proud to wear the logo, they're learning every week, and they're going away and they're telling their friends.
So it would seem to me that, especially with such a global sport, that the interest is probably there, the passion is probably there. You need to connect the dots of who's the local champion from a coach perspective and the facility pieces.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of us might have a perception of traditional cricket, of what the sport is and how it's played, and trying to think, I've just got this basketball gym, how's this going to work? Yeah. So how are you trying to connect those dots of like the coaches and the facilities?
Yeah, I think I feel like any good coach can work in any space, to be honest with you. It's that's obviously working with yourself is going around America and find people who have a peak interest in cricket and say, we can work in a small space. We can work with a coach who wants to get interested in cricket. We can give them the facilities. We can obviously recommend the equipment. We can give them a structure, a blueprint. It doesn't have to be a 3-hour session, but if you're a little facility and you want to do 1 hour, 2 hours a week, that's all you need to get started and see what the appetite's like in that area. And I think people will be surprised, because with the amount of people that love cricket in America, coming from overseas, South Asian population, from the UK, South Africa, I think it'll be high in demand. It's just advertising it right. I think a lot of people don't know there's cricket in that area. So it's obviously part of my role is to get that out there, There's an appetite for people to coach. There's a lot of people who wanted to coach. I think they've struggled because I think it's sometimes quite hard to get onto the USA Cricket Association credentials. It's quite hard to get that pathway. So with LPC, it's going to be backed by First Form Sport, which is an accreditation that gives you that badge of honor to say, I've actually achieved something in cricket here as a coach. I've got my credentials and I'm proud of it.
Oh, I'm going to ask you an extremely selfish question that's going to lead to a real question here,
Okay.
Liam. So I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to a venue called Social Sixes about a week from now. I'm gonna step in and try my hand at cricket. Any advice for me as a first timer?
Hopefully you'll start the machine nice and slow. I think it's just getting used to that bounce, but I'm sure you've got good hand-eye coordination. I'm just trying to hit the ball straight, keep a flat bat. That's a full face of the cricket bat. It might sound a bit Latin to some people, me saying that, but it's keeping a straight face, and maybe take like a golf swing, thinking you're hitting a low drive down the fairway.
Okay. I'll have to get my slice mindset out of this one. Okay, but that's helpful, and it should be fun. I'll send you some photos, and we'll see what the video is going to look like. People who want to try cricket, what are some of the transferable skills? What sports do you see people just has some commonalities, or where do you see success for people who want to try the game?
I think in hand-eye coordination, if you're good at golf and softball, baseball, I think it's very transferable. The bowling's the most difficult thing, because you're going to bowl with a straight arm rather than a bent arm, as when you're pitching in baseball. But I think the transition from, especially for girls coming from softball to cricket, they would pick it up so quickly. I know when you watch some of this softball in high school and in college, the standard is amazing. And I think they would transfer across very quickly. But cricket's such a fun game to learn. You have the drill, same as baseball, the batting tees, the little bowling skills that you pick up. Any sport for me is, I always got told, my dad was a great believer, to play all sports and that to transfer across in some way. And I definitely believe that. People ask me all the time, is it okay for my kid to do other sports? I'm like, 100%, please do that, because it's going to make them a better athlete. A good athlete, I think, makes a better sportsman, a better cricketer. So I think baseball is probably the most obvious one because of the swing. The ball's the same size, the ball's the same weight. You've got outfielders. So I think in terms of a batting, the power, the way you sort of generate power in baseball is very similar to cricket. Over the last how many years, professional cricketers and coaches have took some of the power hitting and obviously the positions of a batter. They've transferred that across from baseball to cricket. So it's definitely the most an aligned sport is baseball.
This is also a business, and some of this is changed by geography. But I would say in the United States, there's a lot of facilities out there, whether they're multi-sport complexes or baseball facilities or whatever, that are really driven from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 8 or 9 o'clock at night, with a lot of empty periods in between. This to me seems like a really interesting business opportunity as well for a facility. This is great to grow a sport, but there's also a pretty efficient business behind this.
Yeah, I totally agree. As I said, the amount of people who love cricket, who want to find a space to practice, to play. You can have an LPC academy, but if you have extra lanes, I think you're always going to get traffic coming through the door. People always want to be playing cricket. Cricket in a lot of these places in the world, like Pakistan and India, it's like a religion. It's such a huge part of their community, and they love to play it. It's just seeking out a place where you can play. I think if you're with LPC and if we're coaching the coaches, if you've got a great little system in place there, I'm guaranteed you're going to get a lot of kids through that door. And I think a lot of it is a part of a community. People want to be attached to a cricket community over here, which they probably haven't had if they've been here for 10 years. They didn't know there was a community around. I think they'll seek that out. And that's how, obviously, the kids are coming together, families are coming together. But I definitely think it's a great business model. I think if we're doing it right, which I think we are, there's going to be definitely some good revenue there for the facility.
I think you philosophically embrace this creativity of, give me half a basketball gym, give me a field, give me a 1 or 2 baseball batting cage lanes. The sport doesn't always have to be in an expansive stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty bullish on, being creative with what you have to get a program going.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in the UK in the winter, the weather's not amazing. It's dark early and it rains a lot. And I think people think because I come from a cricket country that the facilities are massive, they're amazing. But it's the same. I grew up playing in sports halls, in indoor tennis, indoor basketball schools. So I did a lot of my trade in these facilities. The facilities, even in a lot of professional stadiums in the UK, as a bowler, as a pitcher in cricket, you actually need a long run up. In a full game in the stadium, you would run up similar to a javelin length. You would have a good run up and you release the ball. But a lot of the indoor centres for professionals, they only have half that in terms of that square footage. So the professionals often don't train off that full run up, which is crazy to think. It's obviously changing now. You have more space, but so for me, you can learn anywhere you want, especially these young kids coming through, the little rookies. You can have a small space and make it exciting and do a lot of good work in these tiny little 5-a-side soccer fields, indoor fields, or half a basketball court. Since I've been here the last 3 years, we've done a lot of our coaching on that size. And I feel like we've gained, the kids have improved a lot. The Major League Academy that I've been involved with won the first U13's trophy this year, which is massive. So we must be doing something right. That's exciting. And that's all from a small space. So as the facilities get bigger and better, you feel like they would improve more. But I feel like, as you said, with a small little space, that's plenty to get an academy up and running, plenty of space to be able to improve the kids and get them excited about cricket.
So maybe this might be two parts: the 3 to 4 facilities that you're in, and the type of places that you want to be. Where are you seeing early success? Is it multi-sport facilities? Is it schools? Where do you see early success, and where do you see it going?
So the people I've spoke to and been involved with, they probably came across here, love cricket, found a warehouse and started playing cricket because they love it and they want somewhere to play. But I think they soon realised cricket at that point is not going to be that's not going to bring all the money in. So they obviously expanded out to softball, to baseball. So I think right now you're getting approached by multi-use facilities, which the ability to be able to play cricket with, hopefully, as we keep moving forward, the facilities allow professionals to be able to play in there and have a full run-up. So the new facility I'm associated with here, the first LPC, these guys did an amazing job where they have the ability for professionals and young kids to have a full run-up when they're pitching, when they're bowling. So hopefully, as we move forward, I think if we want to improve and make the best cricketers, hopefully we can have facilities with a longer run-up, like a javelin throw, so you have the ability to have a full run-up. But I think right now it's going to be multi-sport. That's going to bring the revenue in. Cricket's definitely going to help that, and hopefully as cricket builds and builds, and the franchises like San Francisco, New York, and DC, as they come in there, I should imagine they'll be building high performance academies, which should be bigger and better, and probably a lot of space for indoor cricket.
So once you have that coach or somebody to champion the development of the sport and of cricket in any community, what does Liam Plunkett Cricket mean? Online tools, physical tools, equipment. What does a package look like?
So as a coach, if you've got someone if it's a small facility and they want to start cricket, and you've got maybe a couple of parents or someone who's from a different sport who wants to start cricket, we can put them through the rookie course, which is like a 45-minute online, where you're just going to work at it for yourself, through the basics of cricket, through coaching. You will go through that stage. Then you'll go into an interactive course, where you'll do 2 90-minute online classes, where you'll be put through Q&As. We'll go through video demonstrations. We'll give you an assignment. And that's going to be the nuts and bolts of cricket. So that's the first two, the rookie course and interactive. The third one is going to be like a 3-day or a 4-day in person with 4 or 5 professional coaches. So either we would get all these facilities, if they've got 1 or 2 coaches, we're trying to find a spot where everyone can meet, then we put them through a 3-day camp. And then you'd finish off with that certification. So you get the rookie certification, interactive, then also you get the in-person live professional accreditation. In terms of equipment, exactly the same. We're working with companies now. Hopefully by the end of next month, we've got an exciting new company coming on board with a sort of new look into cricket, which is kind of exciting. But all the tools are going to be there. There's going to be, obviously, the online coaching. There's also going to be, if kids love cricket and they want to learn a certain shot, you can buy little packages which teach you steps you through how to play a certain shot. You can do a little package which teaches you the best way to field in cricket, the best way to bowl. Also a fitness package. We've got strength and conditioners, a nutritionist on there. So, excuse me. So it's a full package. But as a coach, we want to arm you with as many tools as possible to be successful. And if you're just starting off, we're not going to throw everything at you. We want to keep it simple. We want you to learn. As you're teaching the kids, you're going to learn yourself.
I want to go back to cricket in the Olympics in LA 28, and maybe just ask you, because that was, for any sport to get on the Olympic program is a long journey. Where were you when you heard it was accepted for LA 28, and what was your reaction, and what did it mean to you when that came out?
It's exciting because me coming across here, I was very lucky that I was coming towards the back end of my career, and then I got a phone call. Someone said, "Do you want to work for Major League? Do you want to live in Philadelphia with your wife?" I'm like, absolutely. I couldn't have wrote a book with a better end than that. So first off, that was very exciting. So I came across here. Then I realized the World Cup cricket is going to be here, which is just taking place this year. So there's kind of like step by step by step. The first year or so I came across, 2 years back, there was talks about the Olympics and stuff, and it got accepted. For me, it was exciting because it gives you another 3 or 4 years to keep working on that game, to keep building the franchises. You've got something in 3 or 4 years. That's what was very exciting about it. It wasn't like the World Cup was finished and there was just Major League. Major League is going to be successful, but it's even bigger than that because there's Olympics on the horizon. I think when I think about schools and education, a lot of parents, a lot of people get excited when they think the chance their kid could represent USA in the Olympics down the line. And I think that's massive to potentially to help us get into schools, to say that there is a pipeline here. Your kid can represent USA for the cricket team, playing around the world, or they can play in the Olympics for a USA national team. I mean, it doesn't get better than that as a cricketer.
All right. So lpcricket.com. How else can people find more? Is there anything maybe I didn't ask you about cricket in the U.S. or Liam Plunkett cricket in general that you would want to add?
Not really. I think it's if you're working with yourself to make this game grow, to make LPC grow. I think it's going to come fast and furious. I think after Christmas, a lot of people are going to get excited and want to have spaces and want to build a program. I think more and more is going to keep coming through. I'm going to be in the UK for a little bit of Christmas in January, and I'm going to meet with some colleges there who actually want kids from America to potentially go to a cricket school in England for a semester, for a 12-week semester, or to go there full time. And that's something I think would be amazing here, to do like a cricket idol, to pick the best kids and offer them to go to the UK to play against these schools. And then you get the best guys get picked or the best girls get picked to be able to go to school in the UK. That's exciting to me.
Well, I might have aged out of that opportunity a little bit, but it sounds pretty awesome.
Let me see you swing next week and we'll decide about that, mate.
I think that will age me out as well. So, Liam, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your time on this and love what you're doing. So thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
No, I really enjoyed the chat. Thank you.